Hello, my dear grandchildren. I have a little story here I'd like to read to you. It's actually 4 stories, all put together, but they're all short. So I think we'll just read them together as one story. It's called Let's Join In, a first book of bedtime stories, and it is by Shirley Hughes. And we have this picture here of these children in their jammies playing. Right, wrestling around and playing and jumping. So let's go on and look at the stories and see what they're about. The first one is called Hiding. Hiding. See the children playing. This thing kind of makes like a fort, doesn't it, or a tent? That can be a lot of fun to play with. You can make a tent or a fort with a sheet or a blanket, some chairs in your house. That can be super fun. Hiding. You can't see me. I'm hiding. Can you tell in the top picture where she's hiding? Her baby brother can't find her. The kitty cat can't find her. Can you see where she is? She's behind the pillows, and she jumps out and says, "Here I am." The kitty and the baby brother are happy to see her, aren't they? I'm hiding again. Bet you can't find me this time. Take a minute to see if you can figure out where she is. I don't think that baby brother or the kitty knows this time. They're both looking. Have you found her? Where do you think she is? These boots don't have any legs in them. And these shoes don't. But what about those? Those shoes have feet in them and legs attached to them. You think she might be there? Under a bush in the garden is a very good place to hide. So is a big umbrella. Big umbrella makes a good place to hide, doesn't it? Or down at the end of the bed. Can you see that one? Hiding at the end of the bed. They've pulled the blanket right over their heads, haven't they? Sometimes Dad hides behind a newspaper. And Mom hides behind a book on the sofa. Do you know any grown-ups who hide like that? Behind a book or behind a newspaper? That's when they're busy having a little bit of grown-up time, aren't they? You can even hide under a hat. What do you think those people are hiding for? What are they doing? What do you think? Do you think they might be sleeping, taking a little nap? The little girl isn't sleeping, is she? Where is she playing? She's at the beach, isn't she? And look how beautiful it is. The water and the sand to play with, and she's brought her pail and shovel. I could be there right now. That would be nice. Tortoises hide inside their shells when they aren't feeling friendly. See, that tortoise has a head and a tail and legs, but they're all pulled up tight into his shell. And hamsters hide right at the back of their cages when they want to go to sleep. Hamsters like to sleep during the day, mostly. When they want to go to sleep, they just curl up in a little ball like that and go to sleep. When the baby hides his eyes, he thinks you can't see him, but he's there all the time. Babies like to do that, don't they? And then what do they say when they uncover their eyes? Do you know? Peekaboo! That's a good baby game, isn't it? A good game to play with a baby. Look at that. A nighttime picture and a daytime picture. A lot of things seem to hide. The moon behind the clouds, and the sun behind the trees. Do you think the moon and the sun are hiding? Looks like they are, doesn't it? Flowers need to hide in the ground in wintertime. That's how they stay warm. The seeds and the bulbs of the flowers stay underground and stay warm, keep from freezing. They hide in the ground in wintertime. But they come peeping out again in the spring. That looks beautiful, doesn't it? Running in that meadow like that with the blue sky overhead and the grass and the flowers. And she has her little doggie with her too, doesn't she? And baby brother, and I don't know if that's mom or dad. It looks kind of like dad. Can you see it up close? Kind of hard to tell. I think it might be dad. Either one. One of the parents, one of the grown-ups. Buster always hides when it's time for his bath. Well, who is Buster, do you think? Can you see anybody that you think is hiding in this picture? Did you see him? Look here. See the little doggy? That's their dog, Buster. Buster's hiding because Dad over here is getting his bath ready. Buster always hides when it's time for his bath. And so does Mom's purse when we're all ready to go out shopping. She can't find it. This kind of looks like a purse. I don't know if that's a different bag or not. Maybe she has another purse that she's looking for. I don't know. I don't know if I see it in that picture. Do you? I'm not quite sure what it looks like. Looks like they're all ready to go out shopping. They've got their coats on, and she needs to find her purse and can't find it. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Even grown-ups lose things. Haha. Our favorite place to hide is behind the kitchen door. Then we jump out. Boo! It's like they surprised their mom, didn't they? Boo! And can you guess who's hiding behind these curtains? Do you see feet? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. Who's hiding behind the curtains? There they are. You're right. Now we're coming out. Is everyone clapping? I'd like for people to be clapping, wouldn't they? Okay, the next part of the story, the next little mini story here, is called Giving. Giving. Let's see what that one's about. I gave Mum a present on her birthday, all wrapped up in pretty paper. Oh, looks like it's a little purse. She can maybe put her money in that since she seems to lose some of those. She gave me a big kiss. Looks like Mom gave her a hug too. What do you think? I gave Dad a very special picture which I painted at playgroup. And he gave me a ride on his shoulders most of the way home. See, he has the picture in his pocket. He's giving her a ride. I gave the baby some slices of my apple. We ate them sitting under the table. That's a funny place to eat apple. But it was nice that they were sharing, wasn't it? Was she sharing with her baby brother? That was very thoughtful, wasn't it? At tea time, the baby gave me 2 of his soggy crusts. That wasn't much of a present. But I don't know if the baby's old enough to know that it wasn't a very nice present. Not sure she wants to eat a soggy crust. But he still was trying to share, wasn't he? Looks like the kitty's sharing the baby's food too. If it's bread all soggy with milk, I bet that kitty would like it. You can give someone a cross look. Ooh, that is a cross look, isn't it? She looks very angry there. You can give someone a cross look or a big smile. What do you think? Cross look or big smile? I think I like the smile better, don't you? You can give a tea party. Where are they having the tea party? Can you tell? Looks like they're all dressed up. At least the girls are all dressed up. I'm not sure the baby's dressed up. But the girls are dressed up. And they're having a tea party outside, aren't they? Looks like they have some real snacks to share. That looks like fun. Or a seat on a crowded bus. So here are all these people. Let's have a look. Lots and lots and lots of people. And when the buses get very crowded, then people need to stand. But here's the seat. And it looks like this man has stood up, and he's going to let the little girl's mom sit down so she can sit down with the baby and with the little girl. I really can't remember. I think the girl's name might be Katie. I should be able to remember it from other stories we've read, but I'm just not quite sure, and it doesn't say anywhere here what the name is. That boy looks a little bit crowded, doesn't he? A little squished. A lot of adults standing around him talking. So that man gave them a seat on a crowded bus. That was kind, wasn't it? On my birthday, Grandma and Grandpa gave me a beautiful doll's pram. See this baby carriage here? That's called a doll's pram. I said thank you and gave them each a big hug. And I gave my dear Bemily a ride in it, all the way down the garden path and back again. See her little doggy Bemily? She's giving her dog Bemily a ride in the carriage. I tried to give the cat a ride too, but she gave me a nasty scratch. I don't think the kitty wants to play in the baby carriage. Ouch. So Dad had to give my poor arm a kiss and a wash and a piece of sticking plaster. Sticking plaster is another name for a Band-Aid. She needed a little Band-Aid on her arm, right? Is she crying a little bit? That hurts. If the kitty gave her a scratch, that hurts. You think it'll feel better after her dad's done? He washed it, he put a Band-Aid on it, and he gave it a kiss. I bet it'll feel much better now. Look at what's going on in this picture. Can you tell? The little girl is building a tall tower, blocks. Baby brother's watching, but then what does he do? Oh dear. Babies do knock towers down pretty often, don't they? Do you think that she's happy about that? She looks kind of angry about that, doesn't she? It says sometimes just when I've built a big castle out of bricks, the baby comes along and gives it a big swipe and it all falls down. Then I feel like giving the baby a big swipe too. She feels like giving the baby a hit, doesn't she? She feels like hitting. The baby hit her tower down, and now she thinks about, and she might want to give the baby a hit too. But you see what it says here? She says, I don't, but I don't, because he is my baby brother after all. Towers can be fixed, can't they? We can fix towers made of blocks, but we can't hurt people, right? It's okay to get angry, but it's not okay to hurt someone. All right. The next chapter is called, or the next little story in here is called Chatting. Chatting is another name for talking, isn't it? I like chatting. I chat to the cat. That makes a good rhyme, doesn't it? I chat to the cat. And I chat in the car. She likes to talk. It's like the baby might have fallen asleep, but she hasn't fallen asleep. I chat with friends in the park. That would be a nice place to meet people and chat with them, wouldn't it? And to the lady in the supermarket, at the supermarket. So there's the lady who's helping them get their groceries. And she's chatting, chat, 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 talk, talk, talk. And looks like Mom's working on loading up the groceries so they can carry them home. And there are a lot of people lined up behind, aren't there? She might have to stop chatting at some point and let these other people get their groceries, right? That's okay. They look like they're having a nice conversation. And it is so good to be friendly with people when you see them. If you're right there with your mom or your dad or a grown-up who's special, you can talk to people. It's nice to be friendly. It's a good idea not to do that if you don't have a grown-up with you. But when you have a special grown-up with you, it's fine to be friendly. Grown-ups like chatting too. See the moms there? They're having some tea and chatting. Grown-ups like chatting too. The kids are playing and the moms are chatting. Sometimes these chats go on for rather a long time. See the two grown-ups talking? Looks like the dog wants to go home, and the little boy wants to go home, and the little girl and her baby brother and their dog, they all want to go home, don't they? Sometimes grown-ups talk for rather a long time. Have you ever had that experience? That when you're with a special grown-up and they see somebody they know and then they chat for a long time? It happens. The lady next door is an especially good chatter. She likes to talk. See her neighbors. When Mom is busy, she says that there are just too many chatterboxes around. Too many people talking. She's trying to cook. She says there's too many chatterboxes around. So I go off and chat to Bemily, but she never says a word. Whoops, sorry about that. The baby likes a chat on his toy telephone. He makes a lot of calls. Hello? Hello? Who's there? But I can chat to Grandma and Grandpa on the real telephone. Do you do that? Do you have anybody special that you talk to on the telephone? I like to talk to my grandchildren on the telephone. That's very special. Some of the best chats of all are with Dad when he comes to say good night. I agree that can be a good time for a nice chat, just as you're getting into bed. Bouncing. This is the last one of the little stories. Bouncing. Now that's fun. When I throw my big shiny ball, it bounces away from me. See it bouncing? She's got a good throw, doesn't she? Strong girl, she's got a good throw. Bounce, 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 bounce. Then it rolls along the ground. Then it stops. There it is. It rolls along the ground, then it stops. That's what balls do, don't they? Bounce, 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 bounce. I like bouncing too. What's she bouncing on there? Is she bouncing on her bed? In the mornings, I bounce on my bed. And the baby bounces in his cot or his crib, right? Babies sleep in a crib and the baby bounces in his cot or his crib in the morning. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Mom and Dad's big bed is an even better place to bounce. You ever jump on your mama or daddy's bed? Or a grown-up's bed? But Dad doesn't much like being bounced on in the early morning. Uh-oh. He looks like he was sleeping, and he wasn't ready for the kids to come and bounce on him, was he? So we roll on the floor instead, and the baby bounces on me. That's the picture we saw on the front cover, isn't it? The baby bounces on me. After breakfast, he does some dancing in his baby bouncer. And I do some dancing to the radio. I bet that's something that they both enjoy, isn't it? At my playgroup, oh boy, look at all these children. There she is. At my playgroup, there are big cushions on the floor where lots of children can bounce together. Here we'll go along. They all took off their shoes. That was a good idea. So nobody gets stepped on with shoes. And they are all having so much fun, aren't they? Jump and bounce and bounce and jump. Would you like to be part of that group? Bouncing with them? That really does look like a great fun time, doesn't it? Bounce, bounce, bounce. At home, that picture's kind of small, and I don't know if I can get it much closer so you can look. Can kind of at that angle. It's not as easy to see, sorry. And at home, there's a big sofa where we can bounce when Mom isn't looking. Maybe Mom doesn't like them bouncing on the couch, does she? Grandpa and I know a good bouncing game. I ride on his knees, and we sing, "This is the way the ladies ride, trit-trot, trit-trot. This is the way the gentlemen ride, taran, taran." I've never heard it that way. That's different. This is the way the farmers ride, clip-clop, clip-clop. And this is the way the jockeys ride, gallopy, gallopy, and fall off. That's a little different than the way that I've learned it and the way I like to play it. But it's always good to learn something new. See if a grown-up you know knows how to play that game. I like bouncing. Can you see her? So I can get her closer. It's not the best angle, but there she is. It says, "I like bouncing." I bounce about all day. Bounce, 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 just like the ball, right? Bounce, 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 bounce. Until, in the end, I stop bouncing and go off to sleep. All right, that's the end of the story. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you.